Hi guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. Thanks for tuning back in. Thanks for coming back to see me. I'm really pleased you've done so, and I'm exceptionally pleased about to bring you this Merkur. Making this video, it's taking me a good little while because I've having a problem posting an item. I don't know if you guys have ever had this, but Royal Mail sometimes not very royal. That's what I'm going to say. It's been a nightmare, but hopefully we're going to find resolution. But I wanted to do some recording. Making these videos, if I'm honest, has always been a place that sort of centers me, sort of zens me out, if you like. I love making watch reviews and stuff. So today I'm bringing you a Merkur. This is their skin diver, very sort of vintage retro sort of looking. It's one I've been aware of for a while. I was fortunate enough for them to contact me on my Instagram and say they'd like to send that over, and it just worked because it's one that I've been meaning to pull the trigger on a while ago. I think I may have even featured on a sale video a while ago, and for one reason or another, it's just not come in. I'm pleased to say it's here today. Like with many Merkurs, I don't know that there's a model number. I couldn't find anything from looking around, but it looks very, very cool. There's a couple different color dials to choose from. The strap looks quite nice. It comes with a K1 mineral, they call it. I would like to have seen sapphire, but it comes with a mechanical movement, which normally means no hacking. But not too expensive. It comes in at sort of £100 or below with coupons and stuff. Is it all that? Because this is one, like I've said, it's been on my radar for a while. We're going to get there together. By the time we get to the end, hopefully you know if it's for you. If it is, you please use the link in the description. But yeah, get yourself a nice brew, get yourself a beverage. We're going to calm down together because it's about that time to get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys, so this is the watch. This is the Merkur. I'm just calling it a skin diver. This is the packaging I've become sort of accustomed to now. Different sort of colours and stuff, but the same sort of thing. Up in here you got the instruction manual. I'll take it out. Normally there's a tool you can use if you want to take the strap off or whatever. Quite a substantial book. You're a better person than me if you're going to read through that. But yeah, that's it. There's no warranty card of this. It'd be nice to have seen a warranty card. Not that it normally means anything, to be honest, sometimes on AliExpress, but it just makes people feel a bit more secure. But yeah, that's the rest of the packaging. You can see it's a bit of a lint magnet. I've cleaned this watch a couple of times. Sorry if there's little bits on it, but there's the watch. There you can see it already. So this is the Merkur. I'm going to call it the Skin Diver. Unfortunately, with a lot of Merkurs, they don't actually give them any model numbers, so it makes it a little bit tricky. But yeah, I'm going to call this a Merkur Skin Diver. It's based on sort of like a French sort of design. But I think it looks really cool. It's one I've been aware of for a while, as I said in the intro. But let's run through all the stuff. Inside this watch, it's running a mechanical M01D movement. I'll bring some information up about that movement now. It's a mechanical movement, so it doesn't have a rotor. It's been running pretty well. The only thing is a drawback, as with most mechanical watches that I have in, there's no hacking function. I know that doesn't bother some of you. That is a bit of a bugbear of mine. I can't lie. It's one of those things that does bother me, but it's been running pretty well. Reasonable sweep. I would say it's probably running about 7 or 8 seconds fast a day. But so yeah, not bad at all. But like I said, setting it completely accurately is quite difficult. But I am going to endeavour to finally get a time grapher so that we can do this properly. But yeah, that's the movement. The construction of the watch, aside from the strap and the crystal, is all 316L stainless steel, very brushed in aesthetic. You've got a couple polished elements on the crowns, but the bezel, case back, and the hardware is all 316L stainless steel brushed. You've got a little bit of polishing on the crowns, but yeah, very tall aesthetic with this watch. The case thickness of the watch is 13.1 millimeters. The case diameter, I measured from the 8 to the 2. It was coming in at 38.5 millimeters. When you go from the 9 to the 3 or the 10 and the 4, given that's where you got both crowns, it would come in at 41.7 millimeters. The lug width on this is 20, and the lug to lug tip to tip of the watch is 46.6 millimeters. So I think the proportions of the watch in terms of the size is done really, really well, to be honest, in terms of the wrist sizes it will fit because of it. I don't like my watches too big, and you can't accuse this watch of being too big. So there we are. The crowns, you've got one at the 10 o'clock, one at the 3 o'clock, both screwed down, both the same, both with Merkur sort of logo on there. We'll go through that. We'll look at the dial in a bit more detail. The bezel is sort of like a step. You'll see, I've seen this on a few of their watches before. quite cool. I like the way it's done, brushed, and you've got like a graduation with a step there, which is quite cool. Case back, I like that. You got the line on the back with some information. You got some coordinates down at the bottom, screwed down, as I said. The strap it comes on is a nice canvas strap. You've got reinforced holes, quick release. Like I say, it's a nice and comfortable. The hardware is okay. You would like to have seen a bit of signage on there, but it does the job. Brushed, like with in keeping the rest of the watch, which is good to see. The crystal covering the dial is a mineral crystal. They're calling it a K1 mineral. I'd like to have seen a sapphire on there, if I'm being honest. I do like a bit of sapphire, but yeah, there we are. The water resistance of the watch is cited as being 100 meters, so that'll give you 10 atmospheres of water resistance, and the weight will appear in the top right. So with all in on this strap, it's only a canvas strap. It's coming at 72.4 grams, which, given the strap's going to weigh very little, that's not a bad bit of heft really in the watch itself. But let's have a look at the dial in a bit more detail. So I do like the way the bezel, so you got the fixed bezel outside, you got inner rotating. I do like the way it's done, sort of like a rehaut. I like the way they've done it sloped into the dial. Inside, on the dial, you got a minute track going around the outer edge. Obviously, you got a minute track on the bezel also. Inside of that, you got buttons everywhere except for the 12 and 6 position, where they've gone for the numerals, which is not bad. You got the date window at the 3 o'clock position, cut out reasonably well. Yeah, so there we are. The proportions on the hands are good. You've got high polished hands on the hour and minute. The second hand is brushed. I quite like that. It offers a little bit of contrast against the backdrop of the polished hands. And obviously you've got brushing on the case and stuff. So it's nice that they've extended it to parts of the hands, and the second hand looks good. The proportions on the hands are very good. They reach out really where you want them to reach out to, which is nice. You'll see the hands and indices are yellowed against the black backdrop of the dial. You got Merkur that's been printed onto the dial just below the 12 o'clock position, and just above the 6 you got anti-chock manual. I have no clue what that means, but we'll go with it. I'm guessing it means it's a manual watch. I don't know, but yeah, it's there anyway. Like I said, good proportions on the hands. I do like the polished, and then obviously the brushed second hand, which is cool. Like I said, everything looks pretty cool. This is a watch that I've been aware of for a while, so it hasn't surprised me massively. But we'll see together if it lives up to the expectation or my expectations at least. But you're also wondering now, what's the loom like? There must be loom for days. Okay, so I'm going to be honest. The loom was something that was quite disappointing to me, if I'm honest. It's sort of like a skin diver. There's loom on the hand and indices, no loom on the bezel, which for me is pretty strange. I'd like to have seen loom on the bezel, but they haven't extended to there. And like I said, the hand and indices, it looks where you've got so much yellow that they would have applied quite a bit of loom at this point. But unfortunately, that just isn't the case. They haven't extended it. They could have done with a couple more layers, and then I would have been, yeah, very, very happy. But unfortunately, that isn't the case. But yeah, it's a say. Let me just take the crown out. So the crown at the 10 o'clock is screwed down. Should have mentioned that before. So screwed down. This one's just push pull. If you take it out, you'll see it doesn't hack. But there we go. So if I turn the crown, we'll go around to see where it changes date. That's changing very early, isn't it? Let's see where it clips at 1:15. I'm not liking that, to be honest. I would like that to have been a good hour or so later that the date changes over. It's a bit too early. Starts way too early in my opinion. Not ideal. But I'll put it back to the sort of comfortable position that I review at, and then you can change. You put it to the first position, and then you'll see you can change the date, no problem, independently. But like I said, no hacking when you take the hand out, the crown out to the second position, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's the hand indices. Like I said, I don't like the way the date changes over, but it is what it is. What you'll see on here, so the inner rotating bezel is fine, bi-directional. The problem I found though, like I've had on a few watches, you put it in and then you screw it up, and the bezel, one second, let's try and do this again. So I line it up, so you push it in, and now you've tightened it to try and turn the crown. I'll do it this way around. It might be easier. So lined up. Now you want to turn it to screw it up. And it's screwed up now, but the bezel moves. That's annoying. And the thing is, if you want to have it accurately, so you put it onto where you want it to be timed for, and it just moves. But yeah, there we are. Let me just pop it on the wrist quickly, give you an idea what it's not on my wrist. One moment, guys. Okay, so this is what it looks like on my wrist, guys. My wrist is just above a 7-inch wrist for your reference. And I do not think it looks too shabby, to be honest. It looks really, really nice. Nice aesthetic. Looks cool. At this point, what do you all think? Okay, so guys and girls, that'll now take me swiftly on to what I think is pants and Pukka about the watch. If you've ever watched before, you know, always start with pants. I like to go on higher with Pukka. So what I think is pants about the watch is a few things. I'm not going to lie. This is a nice watch. There's a few things that I would change, and I would start with the movement. The movement being non-hacking. I just can't get on board with that, guys. I know lots of you don't care. There's more important things in life, whatever. But I just don't like non-hacking movements. I just don't get them. The loom, like I say, for sort of like a dive style type of watch, skin diver and stuff, I think the loom deserved to be quite a bit better than it was, if I'm being honest. The date in terms of how it changes over, they've not set it properly in terms of it shouldn't be that far off, in my opinion. It shouldn't start changing over 2 hours before. That's crazy. And 45 minutes before 12 o'clock, it's already changed. Yeah, I don't like that. And the bezel, like I said, you see where it is now. That's where I've left it. So when I'm using the bezel and I line it up to where I want it to, when I screw it up, it moves because it just doesn't. Yeah, strange. They're the things I'm going to say. I'll go with the movement, loom, date, and the bezel. What I think is Pukka. Still a few things, because I do think this is a cool watch from Merkur. First thing I'm going to mention is I'll go with the dial. I like the dark black dial. I think it looks really cool. Add to that the hands and indices, the yellow with the black. It works really, really well in my opinion. I'm not saying it's an original design, but it's nice to see how they've done it. The case back with the line on there, I think is nice. I've had this before. I do like a engraved case back. Bit of a sucker for one, really. The crowns, like I said, the crowns at the 3 and the 10, I think they're done well. Like I said, push pull, screw down, good size, nicely deep etched on there as well, which is good to see. The finishing, the brush finishing on the watch itself is done nicely. You've got longitudinal brushing there, sort of looks like radial brushing on the top of the lugs. But yeah, the finishing's done well. I can't knock it. And the general look of the watch, I think the general look of the watch looks really cool. When you delve into it, there's things that are not right, but in terms of the watch itself, it looks really cool. So they're the things I'm going to say is I'll go with the dial, hands and indices, case back, crowns, finishing, and the general look of the watch. And that'll take me on to, would I recommend this watch? And I mean, this one is one that I expected a bit more from, if I'm honest. This is one that I was really looking forward to getting in for some time. It's not perfect, and for the price up in front of me, I can't imagine we can ever expect perfect. But I mean, it's not a bad offering. I still would recommend it, but they could probably do with a couple of changes to really make it a rocket of a watch. But yeah, still a good watch. Still recommend it. But guys and girls, please let me know what you think about this watch. More importantly, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the very best.